One is talking about the Titans, but we're gonna have to bring this back. I just want you to hear this here about antimatter. You see what antimatter is? Just listen to what this
My
verse.
research partner, Silvano Pentivoglio, and mutilated him in order to bypass security. We used retinal scanners. They cut out his eye.
Is that your stolen canister, Miss Vetra?
Where is that camera, number 86?
It's wireless. A2 was stolen. It could be anywhere inside the Vatican.
That canister contains an extremely combustible substance called antimatter. We need...
See, this is where this stuff is going. Yeah, they're talking about antimatter, which is the most explosive atom in the whole universe. It's the atom they're saying it's responsible for creating everything. But let's see what this person will say though, innit? So you can actually get what they're trying to get with this.
need to locate it immediately or evacuate Vatican City.
I'm quite familiar with incendiaries, Miss Vetra. I've never heard of antimatter being used as such.
Well, it's never been generated in significant quantities before. It's a way of studying the origins of the universe.
You see, they're telling you the origin of the universe started with this antimatter, and this is the only thing on this planet which is the most. This is one thing they never want anybody to discover this, because if you discover this is inside of you, this has the ability to destroy the whole universe. This antimatter, yeah. But let's kind of get into where they're really going with this, because I'll say this. I'm the only person to ever say this, yeah. But I'll say it. So this is basically what I said. I said in the beginning was chaos, yeah. And I said this is the antimatter, okay. This is what created everything in the universe. And I said in the beginning was antimatter, which is this atom here, which represents chaos. It created the Titans, okay. And from the Titans, fairies were built. Fairies came from this. Dragons came from this. Monsters came from this. Weirdos came from this. Predator, which is like the monsters, and the demons and stuff like that came from this. Witches came from this. And mermaids also came from this. Okay? And after this, that's where you get your Egyptian gods. Okay? You get all your Egyptians. The Egyptian gods. Okay? But now today we're at a stage where we jumped. So we jumped so much, yeah. We jumped so much. So what we have now is Christianity and Islam and whatever. That's what we have today. But in order for us to go back to this, yeah, we need to understand that the beginning was antimatter, innit, which is this, and this is the substance they're talking about, which is a raw material. Okay, this is a raw carbon, basically. But people like RFG want to have you convinced that this is going to turn into plasma. It's just ridiculous, bro. In the beginning, this was there. This is what they were talking about. Let's go back to the lab. You hear what this guy said.
To try to isolate what some people call the God particle, but there are...
So they call it the God particle. That's what they call the shit. Okay? Which is, like I said, Jesus did not create the world. People tell you it was Jesus. People tell you it was Allah. People tell you it was Muhammad and whatever, all these Christians and nonsense guys. In the beginning was chaos. And chaos, the world shall return to. Okay? And this film is called Angels and Demons, yeah? They're explaining this shit. But they're explaining it through the Roman Catholic lens or perspective. I'm gonna show you another thing. You didn't catch this.
Implications for energy research.
God particle?
This guy ever said is the God particle?
What we call it isn't important. It's what gives all matter mass, the thing without which we could not...
You see, without this, yeah, without the God particle, nothing would exist. That's what this person is saying. And they're not mentioning Jesus and shit, because they know like Jesus wasn't even a thing when this was in the beginning. Chaos was the beginning. And they're telling you it's called antimatter, which means this particle has the ability to destroy the whole universe. That's what it means.
Exists.
You're talking about the moment of creation.
Yes.
the moment of creation, okay, goes back to this particle here. And I even said, okay, I even added, okay, that in the creation story, the bits that you don't see, okay, is dragons are real. You don't see a fairies are real. You don't even know that there's titans, which were the fathers of the gods of today. Okay, so before the term God was even like an inception, there was the titans, things like Gaia, which is the sky. Okay, and things like these were like created out of myths. Okay, to explain this, because what they call it myths, it's not really myths, because the thing is, yeah, Cthulhu is coming back. That's what's gonna happen in this world. This is coming back, and this is not allowed to come back, because this is the most dangerous, the most powerful force ever in the universe. And because if this wakes up, it's game over, bro. Okay. And today, what we have Predator, and we got all of these monsters, and we got all of this, yeah, and we got the witches as well, because they know everything was going on, but they're the only ones that are holding the keys to understanding this shit. Okay, this is why they're the only ones with the information. When I tell you about people that talk down to these kind of people, yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so this is where it's going. And another thing I wanna explain here is let's get to it first, and let's just break it down, because these are like little micro lenses and that. Okay.
Well, I am. The antimatter is suspended there, in an airtight non-composite shell with electromagnets in each end. But if it were to fall out of...
And they're holding it with electromagnets, okay? And this is the same way they're holding your form of like human beings. You think you're seeing human beings, but really and truly it's just atoms held together with magnets, okay? The magnetic field, when they're talking about the belts, okay? And like the streams, or and they call it the Anubis stream. This is the stuff that's holding this whole world together, to give you an illusion of things being forms. That's basically what's going on. They're using a magnetic technology to hold everything together, to make it seem like it's real. So when you hold particles together, you see human beings or human forms, which is just nothing but just like particles filled with light, okay, giving you an illusion of something to be more holographic. I would say holographic because you see the form, and I also say it's a moving hologram, which makes it a video or like a moving image. A moving image is nothing but just light hold together, or light trapped in atoms, which they call photons. Okay, this is where the term photograph came from. Okay, so it's like a graph of photons. When you hold photons together, this is what you get human beings. Okay, when everything that you're seeing is a projection, every human being that you see is a holographic hologram, moving image, okay, of forms which are not even real. Okay, that's that's the best way to explain this shit.
If suspension come in contact with matter, say the bottom of the canister, then the two opposing forces would annihilate one another violently.
What might cause it to fall out of suspension?
The battery going dead, which it will, just before midnight.
Kind of annihilation. How violent?
A cataclysmic event. A blinding explosion equivalent to about 5 kilotons.
You're hearing the shit, yeah? That's how potent this stuff is. So when they tell you, oh, acid is evil, or they tell you lightning is evil, that's what they're talking about. And this is why they named all of these things evil, because it's so powerful and so potent. It has the ability to destroy the whole universe. Okay, that's how powerful this stuff is. So when we get into DNA activation, it's the same shit. Because when your DNA activates, you're gonna see this God particle in your third eye, and if you don't see this God particle in your third eye, that means you don't have a soul. Okay, no one is gonna ever explain this shit, because you niggas don't read, you niggas don't study, you niggas don't live this life. You just be talking shit. You see to see the difference between somebody who can study something and somebody who actually lives the stuff they be talking about. But all you niggas be saying are just a whole bunch of stupid shit. Feel me? It's like it's this stuff here. This is a different type of science, bro. This is some shit that nobody can ever. You can't make up this shit, bro. You feel me?
Vatican City will be consumed by light. Those are the exact words the kidnapper used.
We will destroy your 4 pillars.
You notice, yeah? This is the clue to what's happened here, okay? They're mentioning the 4 pillars, okay? Whenever the Freemasons do anything or do any rituals, what they do, it's everything to do with the 4 pillars. Even when they was knocking down buildings, when they said 9/11, it was to do with the pillars. Everything is to do with pillars. And when they're talking about pillars, yeah, one thing you need to understand, yeah, that in the beginning, how they did this, okay. So we're talking about the great old ones. The great old ones is Cthulhu, yeah, is the most prevalent one, okay. So you see all of these creatures, yeah. You see all of this, yeah. This is the brain that you haven't activated yet. That this is an ancient mind, okay. And it's basically this is the hierarchy of it. We're not even anywhere close to it at the moment. And when we're talking about the brain you haven't activated, we basically talking about the abilities of these creatures here. You see, Cthulhu, we've got dragons, we've got monsters, we've got even Predator and all this shit. We're talking about Anubis and the lights, okay. We're talking about cats as well. That's part of it, and we're talking about this. And when you see buildings like this, where these beings were able to build this, okay. Today, there's not technology on this planet that can build these things. That's because the human beings don't have this technology. They don't have these senses, or this part of their brain is not even activated yet. Okay. All of this stuff that's inside of you. See, this is called a mecha bar. This is a multi-dimensional traveling intelligence, which is inside of every single human being that has a soul. Okay. Same shit. You see this? You see this? They was explaining it with the Da Vinci shit, and it's basically a traveling, multi-dimensional traveling spaceship. That's basically what it is. That's the best. That's the most generic way of explaining it, because if you're gonna get into it, it's a bit, and you see it, that's inside of you. But the thing is, yeah, all these galaxies and all of these elements which are outside in space, all this stuff here can be controlled if you activate this thing. Okay. And in order for you to do that, you need to get into things like this. See all of this? This is platinum. When you start drinking things like platinum, you start drinking things like silver or silica. Silica is like magnetic, yeah. You got silica, colloidal, and you even got things like when you start getting into the magnets and stuff, yeah. I'm gonna get into that in a bit, but one that's gonna drop to you is this, yeah. Let me show you. This in the beginning, what they did, yeah, they took this. You see this Titanic thing, yeah. They took this ship and they sank it. Okay, meaning they were sinking the energy of the Titans. That's basically what it means. That's why it's symbolic. It's the most symbolic thing that ever marked time in history. Okay, this was the biggest thing, and that's why it's got 4 pillars. And you see the 4 pillars? It was a symbol. This is something they did themselves. Same way they did the same shit with the 9/11 thing. They did the same thing with Titanic, but Titanic was the first one. And even when you see what was it? Black Panther, yeah. You know why this film came out, yeah? What they were telling you, okay? What they were telling you was this, yeah. Black Panther overtakes Titanic. If you go back to where this guy comes from a ZEUS sorority fraternity club. okay, which represents Zeus. So it's basically this versus the Titanic energy, okay. So when they're telling you Black Panther overtakes Titanic, what they're telling you is, yeah, Zeus has overtaken the Titanic. Who are the Titanic? The Titans are basically the great old ones, which is this. And the great old ones is basically this. Let me show you. Let me show you what this is. The great old ones is basically this, yeah. When you get stories like Predator, and you get stories like with the heroes and people like Cyclops, this where these stories came from. They had to build up a different mythology to just explain the shit. But it's a science though. There's a science to it. But if you go all the way back to the beginning, what you see in the beginning was this antimatter, okay, which is chaos. This is what created the universe. The universe was created from chaos. It wasn't created by Jesus or Allah or whatever gods you idiots believe in. It wasn't created by that. But you see, the Titans is this, the great old ones, and even the dragons and fairies and stuff like that. All of this shit is real. Even mermaids are real. Like people think this stuff is a joke. It's not a joke. But if you go back into the mythology, they'll explain it. And that's why this guy is talking about the four pillars. The four pillars they represent Titan energy. They keep sinking it because they don't want it to wake up. That's what's going on. That's the bit you don't get. Every time you walk around talking about I'm a Red Indian or I'm a Olmec or I'm a architect or whatever you want to call yourselves, just a bunch of idiots saying all that shit. That means you don't understand the science. You see the difference, yeah. You did a couple of videos, you did a couple of whatever, but you don't understand the science though. Where it goes back to, this is what they're talking about. But you don't have this though. Okay, it's a big difference. You can go and call yourself an Olmec all you want, but you're not gonna get this.
We will brand your preferiti and sacrifice them on the altars of science. Then bring your church down upon you.
You see what they're talking about? And they even talking about branding this shit. You see what I'm saying? So when they bringing out films like Aquaman, bringing out films like Before the Heroes and the Titans and whatever, they're branding this shit. Like everything is a brand. But the thing is, it's an actual ritual taking place though. It's not just them just talking shit. You see what I'm saying?
Vatican City will be consumed by light, a shining star at the end of the path of illumination.
And he goes into the Illuminati. See, that's who's running this shit. But the thing is, yeah, one thing you have to get is it's not just the Illuminati is basically what came from the Moors, and the Moors are the children of the Anunnaki. Okay, that's basically what it was. So what they did there, they had to go to places like Rome, and they went into Europe, and in order for them to hide their identity, they had to hide it behind different races of people. So when you look at people, you just think, oh yeah, there's no way. But if you really go back all the way back into the beginning, you will find out that the Moors were giants. You will find out. And you will also find out that the Anunnakis, they're like 7 feet tall to like 8 feet tall, which makes them giants as well. But they are very, very dark skinned black people. Okay, they're not normal human beings. Like when you walk around, you see people. Even people like Preston Nichols said he saw one of them, and it was a dark skinned black man that come out of a spaceship. That's what he said he saw. This is what this guy from NASA said. And Preston Nichols said the same thing, which means he said he worked for them, and he got proof that he did. So it's either weird to hear that, but really and truly, when you go back to the Moors, when they say the Moors were in Spain, the Moors were in fucking Rome, this shit is documented. It's documented like there's proof that that's what they were doing. The shit is out there though. You see what I'm saying? So, in order for you to understand what's going on here, the Moors were the ones that created Illuminati groups, basically, because it's science, it's ancient science, which was only preview to a couple of people, and those people they created different secret clubs, okay, where you get your fraternities and sororities, and you get your Freemason clubs, you get your Knight Templars, okay, your whatever you want to call these Scottish rites, like whenever you see anything to do with Freemasonry, that this is basically what it goes back to. If you go back to the Moors they're the ones that brought it into science because they hide in the shit. Because the Moors are actually the children of the Anunnaki, but the Anunnaki are the children of the Titans. This is where the difference. This is where the difference. This is where the hatred and the xenophobia is coming from. Whenever you see like black people hating other black people, yeah, basically, what's going on is because the Moors have a hatred for the Titans because the Titans came before their gods. Their gods is the Anunnakis, which they also like. When you kind of like look at different times and stuff like that, the Anunnaki are basically the Olympians. If you look at Greek mythology, okay, in order for you to understand the Anunnaki, you have to understand that in the Greek mythology, they're talking about them. When they're talking about Prometheus and they're talking about Poseidon, they're talking about all the gods, the Olympian gods. They were children of the Titans, and these are the gods that gave birth to beings like Zeus. Okay, so the beings that are running this world, they're under the term Zeus. If you understand how the Titans were put into prison by Zeus, Zeus had a lightning bolt. It's the mythology though, okay? Zeus had a lightning bolt and he struck down the Titans with this lightning bolt and he cast them into ashes, okay? These ashes they took and they made human beings out of them. And today what we have is black Africans. That's how they were created. Well, only a specific. Only the ones that had the bloodline of this had the Titanic genes. Big difference though, okay? So now today you niggas are running around totally calling yourselves Moors, but you don't understand where the science of it came from. It came from this, okay? And this is what they explain in this. And then when they say in 4 pillars, and it's talking about illumination, they're basically talking about the Moors. Okay, you see this guy dressed up in whatever. They're talking about the Moors, bro. That's what it is. It's a big difference between what some of these idiots be talking about the Olmecs and whatever. You guys are idiots. Okay, you need to pick up a book and read, bro. That's what we do, though. It's just a local lecture just to show you the difference between people like me that read and study and know this shit, and a bunch of niggas just talking about a bunch of conspiracies. People that talk about conspiracies, they don't know what the hell is going on. That's what I'm saying. But we deal with prophecy, and we deal with like actual metaphysical science. Okay, this is a study of physics, where you can study this shit yourself, and you will still come to the same conclusion. Okay, if you go today and study what photons are, you will still come to the same conclusion as somebody that's in America or somebody that's in France or Africa or wherever, because it's a universal study and a science known by every single person. The only thing we're doing is just building upon like what we know. It's trying to build a couple of like dialogues and stuff, so we can kind of like get a better understanding of what these people are doing. It's a difference, bro. Feel me? That's why when I say this shit, I know I study this shit. And I know the people that are putting out videos, they ain't studied this shit. I know for a fact they ain't studied this. Okay? Because they don't understand there was a spiritual side of this to understand it. And there's also a study side of it. So you have to really study to really get it. You need to put about 7 to 8 hours just study, just reading books, just to say, oh yo, go and read what Hitler was doing. If you really want to know what the fuck is going on in this world, bro, go and read what Hitler was doing. Hitler was that guy that was really into science, bro. Yeah, but you have to get past your emotions and shit, because niggas, you be in your emotions, so you don't want to read something. You're thinking, oh, this is what happened in the world, because you're too emotional. You can't read and study something. And when you speak on like beings like the Aryans, you have to know what you're talking about. The Aryans with the blue bloods, okay? But this guy, this silly guy, he's going around saying shit about Aryans. I don't think he knows what's gonna happen to him. If he's talking about the Aryans, you don't know what's gonna happen to him. This is the same guy that was talking about witches and stuff like that. You don't know what's gonna happen to him. You get these people that just do conspiracies and they start talking shit about things they have no idea about. That's why me, if I speak about something, I'll have to qualify it. I'll have to quantify the shit that I'm saying just to back it in it so niggas can understand what it is. But this was going on, and so it's just a little glimpse, just a little lens to kind of like open up your understanding of things, so you can really see what's going on. Because this stuff is where the world is at the moment. But the thing is, yeah, because the world has been reset now, niggas took reset pills, okay? Because you're accepting whatever the media puts out there. The media tells you this is what's going on. That's what you believe. You see what I'm saying? It's a reset pill. Your brain has been reset at least 500 billion years. You set the whole world 500 billion years behind was talking stupid shit, calling yourself natives, Indians, and Olmecs, and architects. And do you niggas know what the architects were? What they were doing? Do you know that these niggas was giants? Do you know that the Olmecs were giants? Do you know that these were highly civilized beings? But you going around calling yourselves that. You niggas are idiots. I don't speak to black people no more. This shit is just weird, bro. It's just a bunch of weirdos, bro. But that's what's going on right now. So next time you niggas want to mention stuff and quote stuff and say, yeah, my granddad was an Olmec, just make sure you got something to quantify that shit and back it with truth. And we got this is why I don't even speak to like specific people, because they're going around like co-signing this shit. And I was like, what is wrong with these niggas? There's no way this guy can be this stupid, bro. But he's an idiot, innit? That's what's going on. So that's what we're gonna say. It's whatever though. I'm gonna drop another. So the thing is, I'm putting together a lecture. As you can see, I put together a lecture of how to get to that. And this was the lecture, but I only done it like briefly. Like I went through it like briefly, because there was a lot of stuff to touch on it. Like you see, I was talking about the importance of magnets and what they do. Like if you wish to take this and equip this vest or even your head wraps and stuff like that, this stuff is what's going to help you block all the radiation and stuff like that. And if that happens, it will allow your brain to get into brain patterns that go past your 7 senses. Okay, let me show you. There's a couple of things like this is what I dropped today. I told people, yeah, this, yeah, if you wash with this, yeah, it will clean your aura. Niggas was like, yo, what are you saying? For real. Like this is the shit that I say today, bro. But this is a science that people don't know, innit? They don't understand that niggas says there is an intelligence which is inside of you, and in order for it to work or awaken, you have to awaken from your dormant states in your brain. Okay, and you're not able to do that because you got things like parasites inside of you, and you got things, you know, that was explained in this. And in order for you to even start to awaken the different engines inside of your body, you're gonna need shit like this, dandelions and thistles and whatever they call this, turmeric and whatever. See, all of these, yeah. This is what speaks to the different glands in the body. Your body has different glands, and these glands, they send information to the brain. And if they're not able to do so, you're not gonna have emotional intelligence. You're not gonna have intuition. You're not gonna have psychic abilities. You're not gonna have all of this shit because you're not able to use your whole body technology to its best ability. You start walking around like a walking zombie, bro. That's what's going on. You'll be able to do things like this. I'm the first person to say you'll be able to create this. I'm the first person to say you can move asteroids using your brain. Okay, but you can't get to that because niggas don't understand that there is a spinal fluid which is in your nervous system, which if it rises, you'll be able to awaken this light, like the light that we're talking about, antimatter, into your brain and spark new thoughts and new brain patterns in your brain, though. Okay? Are you listening, weirdos? You niggas is a bunch of weirdos. Okay? See, this is where you'll be able to start communicating with this. There is fucking spaceships and shit, and you'll be able to move things like this with your mind, though. Okay? Elements with your mind, but you can't get to that talking about you're a fucking Indian. It's just idiotic. And we have to get you to this level where you become this. It's basically Titans, and you have to cut Zeus's head off. Okay, to do so, it's a it's a it's a science, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a science. You see it? Even the children have to get to a level where they'll be able to move this with their minds, okay? Not dancing around like idiots. Feel me? So this is basically the passport to higher dimensions. That's all it is. Okay? That's all it is. It's just higher brain patterns, and when you start using higher brain patterns, you're not gonna be a human being, bro. You're gonna be a multi-dimensional thinker, and you're gonna be a celestial thinker. Like this is the shit that I'm getting to. Like it's your thinking has to be on a haptic level, acoustic level. You feel me? Frequency level. It has to be on a celestial level. It has to be on a cosmic level. Like I was speaking to this guy, bro. He's from Louisiana. He was talking about. I asked him, yeah, what other senses you've never even heard of or experienced that you think you would, if you was to activate 96 senses in your brain, you'll be able to actually start to experience. It's the type of shit was coming out with. He's talking about celestial, multi-dimensional, light bending type shit. You feel me? Stuff like that. So it's like, can your brain go past 7 senses? And if it can, what are those new senses? Bro, think about it. If you had celestial sense, you feel me? Or cosmic memory, or like light bending sense, or speed light sense. You see what I'm saying? It's like magnetic shit. You feel me? It's things that goes past the shit that human beings have done on this planet with 20% of their brain. We're going past 20%, and we're going into 100%. 100%. By the time you get to 100%, you're not going to be a human being, bro. That's what's going on. But they had to reset all human beings back to 10%. Okay. The world is going back to using 10% of their brain because of idiots that walk around calling themselves native Indians and Olmecs and Aztecs. You niggas set us 500 years back, bro. 500 billion years back. The human brain is 500 billion years advanced, okay? And you niggas have set us at least 500 billion years back with your stupid shit. With this Black Lives Matter shit. It's just stupid, bro. See what I'm saying? You can't get to this because you're idiots. That's what's going on. We got a bunch of niggas just walking around talking about, oh, yeah, we used to be Olmecs. Bro, do you know what an Olmec is, bro? You niggas gotta stop this shit. It's just retarded, bro. That's what's going on. Retard shit.